Don't worry, guys. I'm doing Witch Doctor leveling into Paladin endgame, hammered in. That is the plan. There's a new NPC that allows me to switch classes while maintaining my levels and strats and all that stuff. No arch temporary. I know, man. Sad face. I was trying to see if I could play it last night at midnight, but it was the wrong midnight, so I was like pretty sad. Just want to play D4. How do I navigate through Maxroll to see the actual best build for certain classes? Let me pull out the Ava already did the link. I was like way too slow. But yeah, basically what Averolin has said. Is Heartseeker better than Death Trap for in-game? It's not stronger than Death Trap, no. But it is a good build. Like you're not gonna struggle with anything in the game if you chose to go Heartseeker. I would say that our in-game tier list. I know people live and die by the tier list and stuff, but like when it comes to in-game, basically in-game tier list is based off of like what a build can achieve at the highest end of pit. We're talking about like pushing pit, getting the right boss, right maps, all that kind of stuff. So ironically enough, people look at the in-game tier list the most, but that tier list is probably the not relevant, not completely relevant to like 99% of the player base. I know that probably sounds weird to say, but it's absolutely true. Like if you remove the like pit pushing aspect of things, like that entire tier list like kind of like moves around. I'm not gonna say entire tier list, but the tier list definitely changes up a lot if you cap like pit at like 100 or something. Like it's just so. I'm not saying play a D tier build or anything like that, and thinking that you're gonna smash everything. But I guess what I'm saying is like you're not gonna have a bad time if you choose to play a build that isn't an S tier, or even a build that isn't an A tier. Like there are a lot of B tier builds this season, which is actually a good thing in terms of balance, quote unquote, for the regular portion of the game. You won't be disappointed unless you're trying to like pit push in a sense. Blame SB, what's up, man? I only care about leveling and speed farming tier list once you're done at 150. Why bother doing it again? Fair. DT tier list was so much intuitive, and going to D4, I was like, damn, something is wrong. But it took what up YouTube? It took D3 quite a few years before it like got into a place where we can solidly say is good. I've been through every single year, turmoils, terrible patches, bad ideas, all that. It took a long time before D3 was like in the good spot. But I have fun along the way. I'll put it that way. Does anyone know that the tray site has gotten better? Which tray site? What, Andy's with Death Trap be viable? Andy's is dead. That's a dead helm. Sure, you could put it on Death Trap if you want, but you're only making things way worse if you do that. There's more than one? Oh yeah, because Diablo 4 doesn't have like a trade site on its site. Like Blizzard doesn't have a trade site, so everything is like third party. So there's like 3 or 4 different third party trade sites. Karai, it's just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Appreciate you. What should you play this season? Guess what you're playing this season? Blame SB. Druid. I was trying to think of like the least likely candidate, probably. Heartseeker Rogue. I was gonna say Heartseeker Rogue first, and I was like, nah, it can't be that obvious. Did you see the leveling guide? With that being said, I would love some feedback from you because I know you like you play a lot of basic attack rogues, so like I would absolutely love some feedback along the way. Farah is Shredder's daughter and the new leader of the Foot Clan in the comics. If you didn't know, actually, I did not know. But I love TMNT. Huge Turtle fan back in the day for sure. In fact, I was such a big Turtle fan that I would base my favorite color off of my favorite turtle at the time when I was growing up. So when I was growing up, Donatello was my favorite turtle, and so I was forced to make my favorite color purple because of that. And then later on, Raphael became my favorite turtle, and then my favorite color has been red, and it's been red ever since because Raphael is still my favorite turtle. Now, if that changes, if my favorite turtle changes, then I have to automatically change my favorite color. That's just how it works, right? That's how that works, right? Those are your obvious rage issues. But yeah, anyhow, I appreciate seeing so many of you guys back. I know like my stream schedule has been very inconsistent in the past couple of weeks. It's just been kind of hard because I know that streaming is like, I've kind of seen streaming as like my second source of income ever since I started doing it more seriously. And the recent, man, it's just been rough. Like in terms of just like, and it's not like you guys per se, just like the action RPG landscape in general. The past couple of months has just been so bad, like toxic, and like if you weren't like part of the drama filled stuff while streaming, you really weren't gonna really get much attention. So I didn't feel like being part of any of that drama, and I just decided to go touch grass instead. I will say grass touching was a bit rough at first with all the pollen, but I discovered this new technique called "go outside but don't touch the grass." And man, like if anyone like actually told me that ahead of time, it would have solved me like a week's worth of like allergies there. We should have a Maxroll guide on touching grass, the most efficient way to get out. What bit am I going to play for in-game? Random arrows. I don't think the phrase means literally touch grass. What do you mean? I don't understand. I mean, is that not why you go outside to touch grass? Like, I don't understand. Come on my lawn anytime you want. Connection was bad. So Rain of Arrows end game. So I'm a level with Heartseeker and then do Rain of Arrows end game. Name change right now. I will betray Rogue Nation. Oof. Oof. Big oof. Your client of the game allows you to pick anything else but Rogue? How much extra did you pay for that? Someone's pay to win over there. Is Heartseeker faster than Dance from Natural Leveling? No. I put it this way: movement speed, yes. Overall, like effectively clearing, no. Nothing in the game beats Dance of Nas for leveling. Nothing. Like no other class build beats Dance of Nas for leveling. Like that's how good Dance of Nas is. How high do I think Heartseeker level can go this season? No idea. Because they changed the hit level scaling and then they changed it again. So I'll put it this way. I would take actually I won't really say that. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, they retuned the pit level or pit tuning or health of the mobs in pit like twice since like in PTR and after PTR, and we don't really know what that is. Ask you after about a week, we'll do, yeah. So just so that for you guys know, I know like people who are always here kind of already know like what I do. But when it comes to like which builds I'm gonna play first, it's gonna always be the Maxroll builds first. Always. Juggernaut D, what's going on? Appreciate the sub. 1 year. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the support, sir. Off with this head. Yeah. So I'm gonna always do my build guys first on Maxroll. So it's gonna start with Rain of Arrows, then Heartseeker, then Invigorating Strike, then Rapid Fire, then Barrage, then Pin Shot. So it's gonna pretty much go in that order for all the in-game builds I'm gonna play. Past that point, then they'll be kind of making up some meme stuff. If I'm still like actively like blasting. Oh wow, the supporter streamer sub thing doesn't start until May 6th. Yeah, I'm surprised it's like kind of late. Like why are they waiting a week for that? Like it makes sense like on launch, but not now. You may try Invigorating Strike. Yo, Invigorating Strike is low key. I don't say low key. Invigorating Strike is actually like slightly stronger than Heartseeker. Like a smidge stronger than Heartseeker. Like Heartseeker has the ability to be able to attack things at range as well as you're like mowing through things speed farming. But Invigorating Strike has better AoE, and so it has better like clearing potential without like, you know, without the single target suffering too much. Peach. So Blizzard can make sure streamers are still streaming their game after a week. That's brutal, man. Bro, I gotta get the raid out before it goes away, man. Arch temper raid out. Eric, what's up, man? Yo, I just found this channel. Welcome in. Does someone know how Barb is season 8? Good. I mean, it's basically Earthquake, but I mean, in terms of like the top, it's got some like decent A tier and B tier builds here as well. Top build is like Earthquake again. So if you enjoy like Earthquake and you want to play the best build, then it's Earthquake again. And if that's fun to you, then you know, spin the win, sir. You bricked your merc? Oh no. I'll say this again. For those who are like just coming in, tier list, no matter where you find your tier list or your source for a tier list, whether that's Maxroll or anywhere else, understand that like in-game tier lists are based on potential pit clears, pit push clears, not like regular pit clears like 99% of people play, but like the push tiers where people spend the entire weekend literally ignoring life, basically friends, meals, showers. Those things don't exist on the weekend of you pushing. And the idea is to find the best mob map combination with the right boss, which is usually Spirit Caller. And you're going to try 200 to 300 times until you fail. Oh, no, sorry, 200 to 300 times of failing until you actually succeed once. And then that's the pit tier that you clear, and that's what the in-game tier list is usually based off of. It sounds silly, but it's very factual there. If you're not involved in that, like if that is not something that sounds like you're something that you're going to be doing, then literally anything B tier plus is going to do just fine in all content. Eva Rain with the sub, appreciate you, man. Sorry, what were you saying about rogue builds that's coming in? Is Rain still top tier? Forgot what I used last season. Death Trap would be Death Trap. We have Death Trap in S tier right now. There's some ifs about it. We'll know very early and stuff. Rain of Rails we're being pretty cautious with. We put it down to like top of A tier. Due to the nerfs. I did play it a lot on PTR, so it's not like I don't know its capability. But with the rearrangement or nerfs of some boss powers, I think it's just easier to kind of put it down to A tier and then be pleasantly surprised if it performs better than we think. But with that being said, I'm starting with Rain of Arrows. Yeah. Like in terms of like the best rogue build, like the absolute best rogue build for like pit pushing, I mean it's gonna be I mean Death Trap is pretty much what that is. Low key, you said pit pushing is that serious? Yeah, that's exactly what pit pushing is. I think when people think pit push, people think, oh, I'm just gonna like put in one key or one set of stones and then go for the highest clear I can with that one set of stones and then call it. That's not pit pushing. That's like nowhere near close to pit pushing. But I think the majority of the like more casual player base don't really know exactly what goes into pit pushing. So they're like, oh, I'm gonna push with this build, or I'm gonna play, that, and it's just not. It's nowhere. It's nothing like they think it is, because you don't really get to see the behind the scenes. All you see is the one clear on YouTube where some guy cleared a pit 394 or something, right? But you don't see the 2,000 times he failed and got the wrong maps or didn't get the boss he needed or all that stuff. So if you really want to get technical with it or very, very mathematical with, pit pushing, the success rate of a build pushing the highest tier of pit it can push has a less than 1% chance to succeed. I'm not even like, oh, the link is not working for Heartseeker? Okay, let me We're talking D4 pits, yeah. Well, D3 GRs too. It's kind of the same thing. If you have to leave a map because the map is bad, that is a one failed attempt. If you got the wrong boss and you left the map, that is also a failed attempt. If you think about it, right? Because you wasted resources to open said map, therefore it is a failed attempt. So yes, interestingly enough, pit pushing. If you're pushing pit with the build in the serious way, you have a less than 1% chance of succeeding. Everyone who's pushed like rank 1 on the third party leaderboards like that has a success rate of less than 1%. All of them. When you put it into perspective like that, you understand why I say what I say about about pit. Pray for early moonrise and the ability drops this season. I'm gonna make my party give me those like immediately, or they're booted, because they're probably gonna find it before I do, and when they do, we're gonna see if we're truly friends or not. That's how I'm gauging our friendship going forward. If I find out you got a moonrise and the ability drop and a cold clip, and you ain't tell me within you have 30 seconds to tell me, and if you do not mention that in 30 seconds, we are no longer friends. That is, and 30 seconds is generous. For efficient blasters, 30 seconds is a long time. So I think I'm being very fair here.
So I was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna start on hard.
Hey, demand a
Yeah, I mean, we are starting on hard. Starting on normal is for weak classes, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, I'm used to weak classes.
Like, I think in season 6 I actually started on penitent.
Lord. Yo, Die, how's it going?
What's up?
It's a dioxide.
So I don't know if you guys, I don't know if who's like on my stream or not, but like I was telling my stream chat that since I'm leveling with Heartseeker, my friendship with you guys depends on how quickly you drop a moonrise or adaptability aspect, and you have 30 seconds to let me know that you have one, and if it passes that 30-second mark, we are no longer friends.
Okay, gotcha. Easy. What was that? Adaptability, and what was the other thing?
Moonrise and cold clip.
Easy.
Chances are moonrise is going to drop really quickly. It's the other two that have a very low chance of dropping early on. Someone's in my chat's like, don't join Die's party. Noted. All right, so I did not see your Google Doc sheet, Mippy, but I am here to right click to the best of my abilities. So you just tell me where to right click, and I am there. Sound good?
That's good.
Sounds good, man.
All right.
Sorry, I had to tell my stream that, I was doing stuff. Kick that way.
Riddler says, as a rogue, what do you think is the best leveling build I've tried out? Well, undisputed, Dance of Knives is the best leveling build, period. Like, period. Ever. In any universe, timeline, any class, it's going to be Dance of Knives.
I actually have one faster leveling build for rogue
Lies.
than Dance of Knives. No, I do.
What's up?
100%. No, it's called being in the training dummy area for 3 hours on launch, and then getting Mippy or someone else from Maxroll to boost you, so you can continue doing testing. Very efficient.
That
Though.
is the very efficient
It's
leveling
That
path.
is
Yeah.
efficient.
Yeah. I think this is the first season in like 4 or 5 seasons that I actually do level like normally.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually quite fast. Like with 4 people, we're gonna be flying.
Yeah.
So, real quick, Mippy, do you want to do like any Undercity shenanigans? I talked to Beat a little bit. They are going Undercity and do
I
the
failed.
tribute quest.
Okay,
And
I have
then-
to be honest. I think Undercity is like the most bait ever for Rogue at
Yeah, but you-
least because
with
you need
the-
nothing. You need literally nothing. You don't need aspects. You don't need legendaries. You need nothing.
It's
Yeah,
really
I
good
think-
experience.
You get the XP tributes. They are
That's
quite
true.
lasting, you know.
That is true.
Like we cannot chain farm Undercity, but we are getting the tributes while we're opening Helltide chests, for example,
Yeah.
during the
I mean-
downtime of the apparition zones. Basically, we're gonna go Helltides, right? And then might as well just yoink the XP tributes, and then when we have like I don't know 6 or whatever, we can just go and
Mhm.
run 6 Undercities and get Giga XP, right?
I think. Okay, yeah. As a group, I agree.
As a group, yeah. Yeah,
For solo,
exactly.
it's,
Like
I think for solo it takes
kinda nah.
long.
Yeah,
No.
I agree. Okay,
Yeah,
then
okay,
we
sure.
just
If when
then
we
we
are a
just
group, we should do
blast
that
at
for sure.
15. At 15, we just do the Undercity quest real quick. But it's fine. Like we're gonna
I'm gonna have
sort it
to.
out at that point.
I think it's also